Hello friends, welcome to another tutorial in network analysis and synthesis. We're discussing graph theory and we're up to a point where we'll discuss cut set matrix today. Now cut set matrix is yet another matrix formed out of a tree, and it is formed by one and only one twig and a set of links. So I've underlined the key word here, but we'll see how the cut sets are made, because it's easier said than doing, because one and only one twig needs to be selected while determining the cut sets. So that being said, we have the same graph that we took example of in the previous tutorial, and I've used the same tree out of this graph with twigs 1, 2 and 5, and I can have two links which are 4 and 3. Now please understand that in order to draw a cut set matrix of a tree, we'll need to join all the links. Alright, so going by the same rule, one and only one twig. So let us select the twig number 2. So we can select the twig 2 along with link 3. So first cut set becomes, cut set number 1 becomes twig 2 with link 3, and I give it an orientation of the cut set to be in this direction. Now let's go to cut set number 2. For this I'll select twig number 5 along with other links 4 and 3, and I give it this direction, this cut set a direction, and this cut set is, by the way, formed at a node, so this happens to be node 4 here. And while selecting twig 1, I'll need to cover link number 4 and 3, and this becomes the direction of the cut set 3. Cut set 2 is formed out of twig 5 along with links 3 and 4, and cut set 3 is formed out of twig 1 with link 4 and 3. So please understand that this is C1, this is C2 and this is C3. So once we are able to find out the cut sets by keeping this thing in mind, that it has to be only one twig in a cut set along with the links. So if we look at this cut set, it is in covering twig 1 with links 4 and 3, and this cut set is covering twig 2 with link 3. This cut set is covering twig 1 with link 4 and 3. Now the rule is pretty simple. If the branch direction is equivalent to the cut set direction, then we put a 1. If the branch direction's current is opposite to that of cut set direction is, then we put a -1. And if it is not related, they do not feature, the branch is not featuring in the cut set, so that is what the third case would be, then we put a 0. So how do we populate QA? So what we do is we write down the cut sets as rows C1, C2 and C3, and we write down the branches as columns. So we have 5 branches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the elements will become Q, 1 1 q1 2 and so on till q3 5. Now we need to populate these elements depending upon whether the direction of the cut set is equivalent to the or similar to the branch directions orientation, so on and so forth. So let's see, for 1 1 we know that the branch is 1 and the cut set is 1. For cut set 1, the branch 1 is not happening, so it becomes a 0. So I put a 0 here. And for cut set 1, branch 2 is in the same direction. Cut set 2 has this direction, branch 2 has this direction, so I put a +1 here. For 3 also it is a +1. 4 does not feature in cut set 1, so put a 0. 5 also does not feature in cut set 1, so put a 0. For cut set 2, branch 1 does not feature, so put a 0. Branch 2 does not feature, and branch 3 is in the same direction, so put a +1 here. Branch 4 is in the opposite direction, so put a -1. Branch 4 has the downward orientation and cut set has the upward orientation. Branch 5 has the same orientation, so put a +1 here. And similarly for cut set 3, branch 1 is +1, branch 2 does not feature there. Branch 3 is in the same direction, so +1. Branch 4 is in the opposite direction, -1, and 5 does not feature there, so put a 0. So that is how you make a cut set. And once you make the cut set, there are techniques to relate the currents in the branches and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that in numericals, and I hope this quick tutorial was of help. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.